Hey, Steelers fans. Tonight, we are diving deep into a matchup that has been on everyone's minds. The Pittsburgh Steelers are gearing up to face a tough opponent at Acrisure Stadium. And while the numbers may intimidate some, there's a lot to break down when it comes to this team's potential to make a statement. This isn't just about regular season stats. It's about playoff intensity, strategy, and who executes when it counts the most. Looking at Houston, it's clear they have an elite defensive unit. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter are true game changers on the edge, and their ability to disrupt the pocket is something every offense has to plan for. They rank at the top in yards allowed per game, and that kind of discipline is not easy to overcome. But let's not oversell the challenge just because of one metric. This Texans team finished 12-5, and while that record is respectable, the victories weren't all against elite competition. A lot of their wins came against teams that struggled down the stretch, which makes evaluating them more nuanced than just looking at the top-line numbers. The Steelers' offense has to approach this game with versatility and creativity. C.J. Stroud has a solid supporting cast, but the Steelers can exploit gaps in Houston's defense if they mix up formations and utilize their full arsenal of players. This isn't about relying on a single superstar. It's about creating mismatches across the field. DK Metcalf returning adds a major threat in the passing game, but his impact will be amplified only if the running game can keep the defense honest. That means Jalen Warren and Kenny Gainwell pounding the middle, forcing those edge rushers to respect the inside run, and opening up lanes for receivers crossing the field. Matchups will be critical. The Steelers need to employ multiple receiving options at once, making Houston's defensive stars account for more than one player at a time. Pat Freiermuth, Adam Thielen, Calvin Austin, and others can create layers of complexity for a defense that thrives on focusing on one threat. The key will be timing and distribution, hitting routes at the right depth to prevent the pass rush from dictating the pace of the game. Aaron Rodgers must be comfortable in the pocket, scanning the field without pressure dictating his decisions. That comfort comes from smart line play, potentially bringing a sixth offensive lineman into the rotation to buy him extra time. Defensively, the Steelers have to be aggressive and relentless. T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Nick Herbig represent a trio capable of overwhelming any quarterback if unleashed effectively. With the running game in check, the focus shifts to creating chaos in the backfield and forcing errors. C.J. Stroud is talented, but this offensive line ranks among the league's weakest. The Steelers can turn that into an advantage, bringing pressure at the right moments, while still remaining disciplined to avoid giving up big plays. Playoff football often comes down to a single splash play, and the Steelers' pass rushers are built to make those moments happen. Special teams and field conditions will play a role, but nothing will define the outcome more than execution on the field. This city has been waiting for playoff football with a passion that few places in the league can match. The crowd, the energy, the intensity, it all matters. Seeing the stadium alive, the fans waving towels in unison, creates an atmosphere that can lift a home team and challenge a visiting quarterback who has never experienced this environment. These are the intangible factors that don't show up on a stat sheet but can influence the momentum at crucial moments. Looking at how Houston handled its opponents, there are cracks that the Steelers can exploit. They beat some strong teams, but also lost to a few that weren't considered elite. This inconsistency is where Pittsburgh has to strike, taking advantage of timing, mismatches, and turnovers. It's not about playing scared. It's about playing smart, applying pressure, and letting the game's natural ebb and flow favor the more adaptable team. The Steelers have the personnel to do this if they maximize their strengths and remain disciplined in execution. In terms of individual matchups, the offensive line's cohesion and the ability to protect Rodgers will define the game's pace. If the quarterback can survey the field calmly, the passing game can open up, giving Metcalf, Thielen, and the tight ends opportunities to make plays across the field. The running game, while crucial, serves more as a tool to control the tempo and keep defenders honest, allowing passing routes to develop naturally. It's a chess match in motion, and every step has to be precise, every assignment executed flawlessly. On the other side of the ball, the Steelers' secondary and linebackers must focus on discipline. Overcommitting can lead to breakdowns against a team that can capitalize quickly. Coverages need to adjust dynamically, reading the quarterback and responding to routes in real time. With a balance of man and zone concepts, along with strategic blitzes, Pittsburgh can keep Houston guessing. Pressure needs to be timed perfectly to disrupt rhythm without leaving vulnerable gaps downfield. Every play tonight carries weight, especially in the playoffs where small mistakes are magnified. This is where experience and preparation matter. Players need to understand their roles down to the smallest detail, anticipate tendencies, and react instantly. When it works, it can shift the momentum in seconds. When it doesn't, the opponent can turn a single opportunity into points, and in a close matchup, that could decide the game. That's why preparation, focus, and execution are paramount. As the game unfolds, every decision will carry weight, and the Steelers' ability to adapt on the fly will be tested like never before this season. Houston has proven they can be disciplined and relentless when the situation demands it, but the margin for error in playoff football is razor thin. A single misstep, a slightly mistimed read, or even a dropped assignment can swing the momentum instantly. The Steelers know this and are prepared to leverage their strengths with precision and intelligence. Rodgers will be central to this effort, and the key will be maintaining composure under pressure. The Texans' defensive line is formidable, no question about it. But if Pittsburgh can manipulate formations, shift protections, and utilize misdirection, the quarterback has the potential to find open lanes and exploit coverage mismatches. He can't afford to take unnecessary risks, but he must also recognize opportunities where he can attack vulnerabilities. The combination of timing, anticipation, and quick decision-making will define the outcome of this game far more than raw talent alone. Running the football will be more than just a physical effort. It will be strategic. Warren and Gainwell must be utilized not only to move the chains, but to force Houston's defenders to respect the inside game, preventing them from collapsing the pocket immediately on passing plays. Each handoff, each cutback, and each combination block carries the potential to influence how the Texans' defense aligns on subsequent plays. A strong running presence opens the field, stretches zones, and allows receivers to find space, turning every route into a calculated threat. Meanwhile, the Steelers' pass catchers have a critical role in maintaining fluidity and balance. Crossing routes, short bursts, and intermediate patterns will keep the defensive line guessing. Metcalf's speed and ability to stretch the field vertically are immense assets. But what makes him truly dangerous is how well he integrates with the middle of the field. Thielen, Freiermuth, and Austin complement him, creating a network of options that forces defenders into constant decision-making. The Steelers' offensive game plan hinges on distributing pressure, creating confusion, and maintaining a relentless pace that limits Houston's ability to adjust. Defensively, Pittsburgh is built for high-pressure situations. What Highsmith and Herbig are not just names on a roster. They're force multipliers capable of changing the course of a game in a single sequence. Their timing, coordination, and instinctive play allow the team to disrupt the pocket while still maintaining coverage integrity. The ability to mix blitzes, disguise fronts, and anticipate quarterback tendencies will define the effectiveness of the Steelers' unit tonight. A single turnover or forced sack could shift momentum and energize the crowd, turning the stadium into a near-impenetrable fortress. Houston's offense has its weapons, but they are not invincible. C.J. Stroud is talented, yet Pittsburgh's defensive line has the ability to pressure him into hurried throws or force him to rely on a single option repeatedly. By mixing coverage schemes, disguising assignments, and exploiting tendencies, the Steelers can apply consistent stress without overcommitting, keeping the defense balanced and ready to react. Each pass rush, each shadow coverage, and each communication between defenders is a chance to create a pivotal moment. The atmosphere at Acrisure Stadium tonight will be unlike anything seen during the regular season. Fans have been waiting for playoff intensity, and their energy is infectious. The synchronized chants, the sea of towels waving, the anticipation in every corner of the stadium. It's all part of what makes home field advantage tangible. Visiting teams, no matter how talented, are tested not only by the plays themselves, but by the environment surrounding them. The noise, the momentum shifts, and the relentless energy can force hesitation, misreads, and mistakes, all of which play into Pittsburgh's hands if the team maintains focus. Special teams, often overlooked, will have an amplified impact. Field position, punt coverage, and return opportunities can change the tone of the game in seconds. A single big return can swing momentum, energize the crowd, and force an opponent to alter their strategy. In playoff football, where margins are thin and every yard counts, these plays take on a heightened significance. Steelers' execution in this area will complement both the offensive and defensive plans, rounding out a holistic approach to domination. Turnovers, of course, are the currency of playoff football. The team that wins the turnover battle often wins the game. With Houston capable of generating pressure but vulnerable at the line, opportunities exist to create interceptions, fumble recoveries, and critical stops. The Steelers' secondary, combined with smart linebacking and situational awareness, can turn these opportunities into game-defining moments. Reading the quarterback, anticipating route adjustments, and maintaining discipline and coverage are all integral to this goal. The mental aspect of the game cannot be overstated. Playoff intensity demands peak focus, rapid adaptation, and the ability to handle adversity without faltering. Pittsburgh's players understand that momentum can swing in a single series, and every sequence carries its psychological weight. Each snap is a chance to reinforce confidence, apply pressure, or capitalize on hesitation. The coaching staff's adjustments, in-game reads, and ability to respond to Houston's schemes will be just as critical as the execution on the field. In the final analysis, every facet of the game tonight is interconnected. Offense, defense, special teams, strategy, preparation, mental toughness, crowd influence, and situational awareness all collide in a contest that will be remembered long after the final whistle. The Steelers have the personnel, the preparation, and the opportunity to capitalize on every element, but execution, timing, and the ability to seize pivotal moments will determine the outcome. This is playoff football in its purest form, and nothing is guaranteed, yet every advantage Pittsburgh can create matters enormously in a battle of this magnitude. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers around the league are growing louder as fans and analysts alike turn their attention to the status of Aaron Rodgers ahead of the matchup against the Houston Texans. Sources close to the team suggest that the quarterback's availability might be in question, sending waves of concern through the fan base. Although official channels have been tight-lipped, insiders hint that Rodgers has been dealing with what could be described as nagging issues in recent practices, sparking speculation about whether he will take the field at full strength. The uncertainty surrounding Rodgers comes at a critical juncture for the team, which has relied heavily on his leadership and veteran experience to navigate a challenging schedule. While no concrete updates have been confirmed, the mere suggestion of a limited or even absent Rodgers has ignited debate among commentators and supporters. Some speculate that the coaching staff may be considering contingency plans, potentially leaning on backup quarterbacks to carry the load if Rodgers cannot suit up. Others argue that Rodgers' competitive nature makes it unlikely he would sit out unless absolutely necessary, noting that his track record often involves playing through injuries that might sideline a less seasoned player. Adding fuel to the rumor mill, social media has been ablaze with cryptic posts and fan theories, dissecting every hint from team insiders and Rodgers himself. Analysts are poring over practice footage, looking for subtle cues in his mechanics or timing that could reveal whether he is truly at 100%. Meanwhile, Houston's defensive coaches are likely taking note of the uncertainty, potentially adjusting their game plan to exploit any possible vulnerability. Despite the swirl of speculation, one thing is clear. The team's season could hinge on Rodgers' readiness. Fans are left anxiously waiting for confirmation, hoping that the quarterback who has carried them through countless high-pressure moments will be able to do so once again. Until an official statement is released, every throw in practice, every press conference, and every passing glance from the sidelines is being analyzed, fueling a narrative that has quickly become one of the league's most talked-about storylines. The anticipation is almost palpable, and the stakes have never felt higher for a player who has long been the face of his franchise. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.